Hey, Maria, we changed our mind. Oh, you're on the phone. Never mind. I'm going to bring this to Allegra. Like this. Step, step, step. Yes. Say again? Thank you, Tess.
I'm going to try trading this. I think her noise comes out like this.
All right, now I go.
This will be so I can see my music. She'll stand here. Her music will be
That's a
seen.
bit of a bump. Not too much of a bump. Okay. Yep, I can do that. All right, I'm going to go get. We're down to 2 handheld mics today, so I'm going to deliver mine to you.
The counterpoint that you wanted.
Oh, hang on. So, nice and loud. So this is all the music that we have. So the melodies here, we thought we'd play through it once with the piano and the flute playing the melody.
Okay.
Then the congregation would join me. We'd sing English first verse, Spanish first verse. You don't have all the words here, but we have 2 more verses that are written down here. So 4 times through with voice, 1 time with piano and flute at the start. My thought was, if you're comfortable, you could play other parts that you make up. You may not feel good, but you could see how it sounds to your ear. Is that something you'd like to do, or don't? Prefer have written music? I think you're going to love it. He's very good. He's going to fill it in too, so it's just a question if you want to. If you don't, you can always just play it the first time through and call it good. Or play with the congregation while they sing over and over.
Are we going to run through it?
Yeah, yeah. Do you need to do a sound check on the other piece after we do this? Okay, all right. So are you ready, sir?
Hi, good morning.
Yes, you guys next. Allegra.
Nice to meet you.
Do this.
Yeah.
It's sight reading.
Exactly. See where this goes.
That's okay. They well versed me on sight reading and auditions.
It's a pretty straightforward song. I think you'll like it. Nice little Spanish. So you guys will start together at least as we practice.
Yeah.
Then can I put this here so I
Yeah,
can...
practice off mine first. Yeah.
Well, no, I just want to, like, when I'm playing with the
Oh, I
piano,
see what you're saying.
I
Then
like to kind of
tell me where you want this piece.
be able to, like, communicate when they want me to start.
I'll set this up for you. So how do you like it? Position for your where's a good place for you?
That should be fun.
It's like a distance.
Do you want this over there?
Yeah, maybe we can use them later in the service, or just add them behind us. But that works.
Can you give me a tempo? Okay. Yeah, so it's da 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 da. Okay, I got it. And then we start together on this. Okay. Sure. Okay. Wait, I think I messed up. Okay. Okay. Sorry. You want to start from that measure? Actually, let's just do the beginning.
Sounds so great.
Maria, where are you, Maria? Maria?
Hey, can you check on the system and the flute? Because I think it's pretty far.
When the poor ones who have nothing still are giving, when the thirsty pass the cup water to share, when the tempted offer others strength and healing, we see God here by our side walking our way. We see God here by our side
bene agnue parte, quando ague bases ague nostra, quando el débil a su hermano fortalece, a Dios mismo en nuestro mismo camino.
Do we need more for the online to hear the flute? Oh, really? Great.
When our spirits like a chalice brim with gladness, when our voices full and clear sing out the truth, when our longings free from envy seek the humble, we see God here by our side, walking our way. We see God here by our side, walking our way. When the goodness poured from heaven fills our dwelling, and when the nations work to change war into peace, when the stranger is accepted as our neighbor, we see God here by our side, walking our way. We see God here by our side, walking our way.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. Just
Oh, cool. I say that because I was just flirting with that.
exactly.
Perfect.
Maria, that work for the flute online? Will they hear the flute online, you think, with the mic that distance?
I'll be up here.
Okay, thanks.
We'll just leave all that.
Am I the prelude?
You are. I think you're the anthem. Maybe I'm wrong. Is that beautiful? Yeah.
But it's John Bonner who's doing this stuff.
Oh, anthems. Okay. I'm excited. Good.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming.
All right, free right from your first piece. Fantastic.
Right, you want to do Robin? I'll do Monica. Okay. I'll go first.
This is our last,
the last
hymn,
one.
so he's going to
Okay.
play the offertory and then come running down here, so you've got plenty of time to go to the position. Yeah.
Oh, you're just leaving?
I didn't want to speak into the mic.
Yeah. No time for your 5-minute announcement if you want to.
Yes, boss. Good morning. May I have your attention? Service will be starting in about 5 minutes, and we encourage you at this time to fill out joys, sorrows, and concerns cards. You may find them either at the entrances or in the back of the pews. Parents and caregivers, if your child has a joy, sorrow, or concern, we'd love to hear those as well. The nursery is open, and you may choose to bring young ones back before service or wait to send them back with the older kids. Masks are always welcome, but never mandatory, and we have some available at either entrance. If you have any other accessibility needs, our greeters can connect you with resources. In case of emergency, there are 2 exits, both the way you came in, and 2 exits behind me, one through here and one through here. First aid kits are in the Gilmore Library, in the kitchen just further on, and back in the religious education or spiritual exploration rooms. How does that sound up there, Maria? For live stream? Excellent, thank you. Thank you again. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. We'll begin our worship with music, and then we invite you now to enter into a place of calm meditation for the prelude.
Good morning. Welcome here in the sanctuary and welcome online to the Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg. This is our Sunday worship service. We're on land stolen from the Tocobaga and Seminole Native Americans. My name is Ben. My pronouns are he and they. I am so excited to bring you today's worship service. It's called Our Cherished UU Values, Justice. This past week, Baha'is celebrated the martyrdom of the Bab, and yesterday many Christians celebrated St. Benedict Day. Today we'll have music, you just heard some, by Elias Scultori, and yes, there will be another organ piece as well as some piano. Michael Rowe is here, and Allegra Everett is here on the flute, has just come back from Greece. Where's Allegra? She's here. Our special guest speaker today is probably the reason many of you are here, because I see a lot of unfamiliar faces. I'll talk about her a lot more later, but Arianne Betancourt is here, and we're really excited to have you, Arianne. Welcome to UU St. Pete. Today's worship associate is Courtney Prokopis.
Thanks, Ben. My name is Courtney, and my pronouns are she and they. If you want a church where we are unapologetically anti-fascist, I have some good news. You may have found your church home. The lighthearted energy of children is always welcome here, and we encourage our families to bring their children and grandchildren on a regular basis. In the back, you can find a basket with fidget toys that are for children and adults alike.
And speaking of children, at this time, help us sing our children out to their classes. If we could get someone on the piano to do that. Or I could just do it. Doom, 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 doom. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Did I get the right key just by accident? Or did you just made it work, didn't you? We have two announcements today. Arianne has gracefully and gratefully said she would hang around afterwards. So we'll have a smaller group discussion. That'll be in the Gilmore Library following the worship service.
And you're also invited to join us this afternoon from 5 to 6 p.m. for the Immigration Justice and Call to End 287G Vigil outside the Pinellas County Justice Center. Are you sensing a theme yet with justice? That's in Clearwater. It's organized by the Florida Interfaith Coalition, the League of Women Voters of the St. Petersburg area, and community allies. It's a peaceful vigil, and this week marks our 37th consecutive week. That is over 8 months, standing for immigrant justice, due process, and human dignity right here in Pinellas.
Yes, thank you.
You may read the rest of the announcements in your order of service in our monthly newsletter and on the television in Gilmore during coffee hour.
Now, again, I see some new faces, so I will let you know, and I'll remind the rest of us that Unitarian Universalists are people of diverse beliefs, but we do share this common faith that every being is worthy of love, that what we do in this world matters, and that we're connected to one another, we're connected to the earth. So whoever you are and wherever you are in your journey, you are welcome here.
I'd like to give a special welcome to any newcomers. If you are new to here, UU St. Pete, or even relatively new, would you like to give us a little wave? Welcome. If you'd like to briefly introduce yourself, Reverend Ben will bring the microphone over to you. And that's so that the folks here on YouTube can hear us and hear what you're saying, and those that are on our loop system as well. You are under no obligation to say anything, but if you're willing, we would love to hear from you.
Anyone?
I see a hand.
I go by Sergeant Rhodes. I'm an activist. I'm here to hear my friend speak. She's a trooper, and I want to support her because of what's happening in this country. And a little about me, just real quick, why I'm here to support her is because I've been at over 70 different protests and rallies across the country. DC 6 times, including lobbying in Congress 5 of those times, because what we do in DC and what we do with our local government here in Florida is very important. So while the protests are still important, remember that we got to get some people in there that are going to fight for us. So pay attention to who is running and look at if they support the same values as you, and please get involved with the voting process, or we can't change this, and there's going to be more stories like hers.
Thank you, Sergeant. I appreciate you.
I'm Mark Linneman. This is my wife, Louise. We are members of the First United Methodist Church up in Pinellas Park. I'm the social justice and anti-racism person there, trying to get that church to do more of that kind of stuff, but it's tough. But I've been attending the vigil up at the jail. It's in front of the jail, face it. And that's where I met Courtney. And so she's one of the reasons why we're here today. And then going down to Everglades 4 times, got to meet Arianne and know and love her too. And the last trip we were down there, we actually got to meet her dad and love on him, which was great. Plus, anytime Courtney organizes a bus trip, you will probably get tamales. And Ben is a great server of tamales. But anyway, we're just here visiting today. We thoroughly appreciate a church that accepts everyone.
Well, thank you. Welcome. Good to see you both.
Hello, my name is Miranda Riley. I am a 23-year-old transgender woman living here in St. Pete. I've been down here for about 6, almost 7 years now, and through this church I'm trying to reconnect with my faith through unity and prosperity and love instead of confusion, because trying to break free from Christian Baptist beliefs is trying to break free of that strict ideology. So trying to reconnect with that is important to me, especially now.
Yes, my name is Patricia Plantamura, and I go to St. Matthew's Roman Catholic Church in Largo. And I have come to your fine church several times for a number of things that are not happening in my own church. But I have to say, my people came to this country in the 1860s from Bohemia, and we did not have any documents to come to this country. We didn't go through Ellis Island. That didn't exist yet. And it's not taught in our history books in Nebraska, where I'm from, but my family got the land, and we displaced the Lakota people. So in any case, I'm here to learn and support, of course, as I've been to the 49th Street protest as well. Thank you.
Time for one more.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name is Carol Vaughn, and Lori and Janine and I are from Unitarian Universalists of Clearwater, and so we came down to visit today. We love UU St. Pete, and I have been to the vigils at the courthouse, and also there's a vigil in front of the sheriff's office on Saturday mornings now from 10 to 12, and they have a little more shade there, so we've kind of been going there, and we help collect and deliver the food for the Hispanic Outreach Center. So thanks for having us.
We love UU Clearwater.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing. And one more thing. I always forget this, so it's great to say out loud. Please go ahead and put your phones into worship mode or mute. We'd also like to welcome you to greet your neighbors.
Please ask for consent if you're going to hug or shake their hand.
Okay.
Please rise as you're willing and able for our opening hymn. It's number 170 in the gray hymnal. By the great Holly Near, we will sing Gentle, Angry People.
We're singing the first 4 verses. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a gentle, angry people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a justice-seeking people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are young and old together, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
Please remain standing for our chalice lighting. Our flaming chalice is a reminder that we choose to focus here together for this time today, and that we believe such time is sacred. When Monica Adams lights our chalice, I invite you to say our covenant out loud. The words are in your programs. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. You may be seated.
We come to the time in our worship service for joys, sorrows, and concerns. Those of you on YouTube Live that are not in this room, know that your presence is still felt. Please type your joys, sorrows, and concerns into the text chat. If you have a joy, sorrow, or concern to submit during the week, you may always write to Reverend Ben.
Thanks to John Motter for volunteering to put the stones in the water for us this week. And there's still time, if you're finishing your card, to bring it up. You can bring it up to Courtney, or you can ask a neighbor to bring it up for you. Once we read each card, either Courtney or I will then say the person's name out loud, and we'll invite you all to repeat the person's name.
The first stone is a stone of concern from Albie Cornett. Albie's friend Matthew is currently in the hospital with cancer and neutropenic fever. Albie would appreciate prayers for his friend, Matthew Kiefer.
Matthew Kiefer. A stone of sorrow from Liz Ryland. Liz's daughter, Lisa Boyd, has left us, has passed away. Liz says she was a wonderful daughter with an amazing husband, Liz's son-in-law. The memorial service will be in Tallahassee this September. Lisa Boyd.
Lisa Boyd. A stone of joy and gratitude for the president of our Unitarian Universalist Association, Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, who happens to share the same last name as our guest speaker. Oh, another stone of joy for our UUA staff and leaders, many of whom are currently in New Jersey, demanding the closure of Delaney Hall Detention Center. Sophia Betancourt.
Sophia Betancourt. A stone of sorrow from Krisha Logan. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo was murdered by ICE in Houston, Texas this week. His citizenship was almost complete. Lorenzo Salgado Araujo.
Lorenzo Salgado Araujo. A stone of joy from Emily Shavi. Her daughter Ella turns 4 this week. Ella Shavi.
Ella Chavi. A stone of joy from Monica Adams, who just lit our chalice. She has just recovered from a heart attack and surgery. Welcome back, Monica Adams.
Monica Adams. I have a stone of joy from Samantha. Samantha just got a scholarship through USF St. Petersburg.
Samantha, where are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yay, congratulations.
Samantha.
Samantha. Stone of joy from Robin Crosa. Looking for, she usually sits there. Who is going to receive a free piano. Congratulations, Robin Crosa.
Robin Crusoe. I have a stone of joy from Trish, or Miss Trish Harding. It is appreciation, love, and gratitude for her friends for including her in their lives and activities. Trish Harding.
Trish Harding. A stone of joy from Janae Johnson and myself. We have a new live streamer. Maria Calabresi has accepted our offer for the position of live streaming, and I think she's back there. Welcome to the team. I also want to thank Maria and Janae, because we almost didn't live stream this morning, but some quick action on both of their parts, even Janae from being sick at home, saved our live streaming. So if you're watching this live online, it's thanks to Janae Johnson and Maria Calabrese. Maria Calabrese.
I have a stone of joy from, is it Zariah? Did I say that correctly? Zariah, for surviving another school year as a teacher. Congratulations. Zariah.
Is that all the cards you have?
That's all.
Okay, so each week we also appreciate someone or someones who have worked hard to accomplish our mission. And this week we have a stone of joy for Mr. Reggie Craig. Surprise, Reggie. Reggie, just in the last few weeks, has, take a deep breath with me, replaced the floodlights on the front sanctuary and over the ramp.
Continue to replace fluorescent lights in upstairs Conway with LED lights. These lights are purchased with funds from the sale of fair trade coffee and chocolate.
Installed shelves and brackets for mops, brooms, etc. in the janitor's closet, which allows us to actually close the door properly.
Arranged for the upstairs of Conway Sage Room wall to be repaired.
Arranged for the AC in Gilmore to be repaired.
Purchased an on-demand hot water heater, and finally,
inspected our fire extinguishers. That's just these last 2 weeks. Thank you so much, Reggie. Reggie loves being the center of attention, so he's going to love it more when we all say his name, Reggie Craig.
Reggie Craig. And we will place, still on, final stone for those joys and concerns that remain in our hearts, but are perhaps too tender to be spoken aloud.
May all of us find a comforting and compassionate presence in the warmth of fellowship and community.
We now invite you to say the UU St. Pete mission aloud. It's printed in your order of service. Our mission
is to be an inclusive, evolving religious community that inspires spiritual and intellectual growth to make our world a better place. The mystery is that we are connected We're connected even when we feel apart. So let's rejoice in our beloved community that makes of the many one, and let's take about a minute of silence together.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
I don't remember ever learning the Pledge of Allegiance. I just remember knowing it. Cadence flowed from me long before I understood the meaning of the words. Human memory is heavily biased towards beginnings and endings. Beginnings and endings, those are the salient points that stay with us. The pledge ends with justice for all. Justice. If the pledge were a parable, justice would be the moral of that story. Nowadays, we begin our city council meetings and legislative sessions in a very familiar way. We stand, we place our hands across our heart, and recite words many of us learned long before we understood them. We conclude in unison, justice for all. But justice is not just a word to recite. It's a commitment to dignity, to fairness, and to due process. To ensuring that every person is treated as fully human. That's why this moment in time, it asks something of us. When institutions bearing the name justice are used to erode due process, to target vulnerable communities, or to concentrate power rather than uphold fairness, we are called to remember that justice is bigger than any department. It belongs to the people, to our communities, to our moral imagination. It belongs to just us. Justice. Our values don't stay inside of this sanctuary. Our values equip us to step into the world responsive, agile, and whole. They call us to show up because justice is shaped by ordinary people willing to participate. If we, as a congregation, amongst this nation, are going to keep standing hand to heart in sonic slipstream synchronicity, then we have to keep asking, are we living it? We have to keep working until those final words are true. Justice for all.
Thank you. Our anthem will be performed by Allegra and Elias. Just Allegra, not Elias. What? What? Is Elias accompanying? Oh, I was wrong. It's just Allegra, so she needs her music. Sorry, Allegra. Thank you so much, Allegra. So those of you who are part of the congregation know that our worship team decided this summer we will cover all 7 Unitarian Universalist values. We named it the Summer of Love, and Janae Johnson started us off last week with an overview of all 7, finishing with the help of a cough drop from Sabina von Alloch. And this week we're starting with the UU value of justice. Now, historically, our denomination has sided with love, has worked for justice. In the 1800s, many Unitarians and Universalists, before we were a merged denomination, worked to end slavery. And in the early 1900s, we worked for women's right to vote, then for civil rights, then for peace and an end to nuclear arms race. We were one of the first denominations, both denominations, to ordain women and to ordain lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, asexual people. UUs demonstrated in favor of marriage equality and in support of the right to choose abortion care. This year, many UUs have been on the front lines protesting ICE. Many of us answered the call and risked arrest in Minnesota after the murder of Renee Good. And as you saw, some of us attend the weekly vigil outside the county jail. And this other vigil I'm just hearing about in front of the sheriff's office. And as you also heard, some of us joined community activists to protest outside the Everglades Detention Camp, named, quite cruelly, Alligator Alcatraz by a governor. And it was there that I met today's guest speaker and her father, Justo. Arianne Betancourt is a Miami native, detention advocate, and community catalyst for the Workers' Circle. She's spent the last 8 months fighting to free her Cuban father, Justo, after he was detained at Alligator Alcatraz following a routine immigration appointment. Through her lived experience and advocacy, Arianne has become a powerful voice for immigrant families, due process, and human rights. The Unitarian Universalist Church of St. Petersburg is proud to welcome Arianne Betancourt. Give you the good mic, yeah. Welcome, Arianne.
Thank you for having me.
So, those of you who have not seen Arianne on CNN or in newspapers, can you elaborate a bit more about what got you into this work?
On October 25 of last year, my dad went to his routine check-in with ICE in Miramar, and he was detained and immediately taken to Alligator Alcatraz. On November 2nd, I attended my first vigil outside of Alligator Alcatraz. I'm gonna cry, but when I got to the vigil, I saw all of these people fighting for the release of the detained at Alligator Alcatraz. The first 3 days, I thought, there are no options. I called more attorneys and paid for more consultations than I can remember. And all of the attorneys I called told me his best option is voluntary departure. And at no point did that seem like a real option for me. Then I attended the first vigil, and I realized there are people fighting for this. And the people who are directly affected don't realize that, and we think we have no options. It's not worth fighting for, it's a lost cause. In January, I was invited to speak at the Broadview facility in Chicago, and that's where I met some of the people in attendance here today. When I went to Chicago, and I saw that the people protesting were the people that were directly affected. I saw the Mexican flags, the Honduran flags, the Cuban flags, the Puerto Rican flags. I realized I had 2 options. Give up everything and fight for everything, or just let life happen to me. And within 24 hours of being in Chicago, I made the choice to quit my job, leave my business, and focus fully on advocating for my dad's release. And the more I connected with families, the more I volunteered with the worker circle, I realized that so many of us were dealing with the same pain and the same fear, but they weren't willing to speak up. And at first, I was talking to the families and I was like, we need to all speak up, let's all stand together. And I realized they weren't gonna stand with me. So I had to do it alone. And I was lucky enough to make great friends throughout this process. But the saddest part of this is the fear the community is facing. The kind of fear that debilitates you and just consumes you. And that's what people don't see. Because for 8 months, everyone's told me that I'm doing a great job, that I've accomplished so much. But it's because I had no other choice. But I was lucky enough to find a community right at the very beginning of this that told me you are not alone, this takes a village, and we are your village. And in this time, I've met with hundreds of families that are directly affected. And out of hundreds of families I've spoken to, only 5 have been willing to be public with what they're being subjected to. So I took it upon myself, and I said, if nobody else wants to take the risk, if nobody else wants to do it, then I'll do it. And I guess being Cuban American, I grew up reading a lot of Jose Marti poems. And he's the greatest martyr Cuba ever knew. And I read so many Jose Marti poems as a child that when this happened, I was just like, if I'm gonna have to be a martyr for this cause, then so be it. If I can't get my dad home, I'll help other people get their dads home. And when they tried to deport him, and they didn't, they couldn't, that sparked a fire in me that I didn't know was possible. Because when they tried to deport him and they brought him back, I was like, I can fight this now. I was like, I know they have no basis to try to remove him because they just tried to remove him and they had to bring him back. So some way, somehow, he will be released because of this one incident. And the first habeas was denied, and then the second one was granted. And they ordered for him to be released within 48 hours. And I thought back to that first week he was detained, and all of the attorneys I paid and talked to and told me it was impossible to just have him self-deport and figure it out that way. But I believed I would get my dad home. I believed that I would get him home more than I've ever believed in anything in my entire life. And the more people I met that supported me, helped inspire hope, and when people asked me how I did it, and I was like, I just believed that I would. And no matter how difficult things got, and no matter how many no's I got, the more families I met, the more angry I got. And then for the first time in my life, I realized that anger isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes we have the right to be angry. And I had the right to be angry, but I had 2 options. I could be bitter or I can get better. So I studied, I read, I looked up, what are my rights? What are their rights? Anytime there was any event, any protest, I showed up. I've protested all over the country. I've been to DC, Chicago, Minneapolis. I was there for 2 of the marches. I was in Minneapolis for No Kings. And one thing I've learned is that nothing is impossible if we're willing to speak up. And everything that I've done through the worker circle, through myself, through my efforts, it's been not for me. Because for a long time there, I didn't think anything would come from what I was doing. But I figured if I could inspire 2 other kids to stand up for their parents, if I can get 1 person to stand up for their loved one, I've done my part. And in the last few weeks, since Alligator Alcatraz closed, my workload has tripled, quadrupled. Because the people that were taken out of Alligator Alcatraz are now being held in detention centers that are overcrowded, that are roach infested, drinking water from the toilet. They don't have air conditioning. They're being scattered all over the country. They're being taken over the border multiple times. And then if they don't cross over, when they stand before a judge, they penalize them for that. And the more I learn, the more I feel like I have to do. I never thought that I'd be in this position. I've never really considered myself a people person. And I've always just been very good at compartmentalizing. Like I keep everything in a box. Anything that makes me sad, anything that makes me upset. But what is happening to my community, what is happening to the people around me, what I'm seeing my best friends are facing as well. 8 months ago, I was the first person that I knew of who had a loved one detained. Just about every friend I have right now has a loved one inside of a detention center. Yesterday in Little Havana, they held a rally to celebrate the protests that happened in July 11th of 2021 in Cuba. But people are not acknowledging the fact that the organizers for those protests fled Cuba and are sitting in detention centers here now. Our elected officials are always concerned with foreign affairs and let's create peace there. The guys who put their lives on the line on July 11th in Cuba are sitting in detention centers here now, awaiting deportation back to a communist country that wants them in jail cells for organizing against them. As a Cuban American, seeing how my community has reacted, seeing the Cuban political preference, regardless of how it directly affects us, things like that pushed me to do the work that I'm doing. Because people leave countries and come to this country for the American dream, because they're escaping something. And to come here and for 40 years later to be put into a detention center because you're being told you didn't do things the right way, when the truth is, it's not about the right way, it's about, is there enough money? Can you afford to become a citizen? I just couldn't sit down and stay quiet. I felt like I had to educate myself and in the process educate others. But I got my dad home. And that night that I got him home, I remember getting home like at 6 a.m. and sitting in my patio by myself. And for the first time in almost 7 months, I let out happy tears. And all I could say was, I did this for him. And everyone's telling me this is probably one of the greatest things that I'll ever do. And I'm like, because I didn't do it for me. I did it for my dad. And because I made a promise to my grandmother that I would always take care of him. No matter how many mistakes he made, she told me to always try to understand him. And while my dad was detained, I learned more about him than I had learned in my 33 years of life. Because I wanted to understand my dad. So I called his friends, I called his cousins, I called my aunt, and I drilled them. And I was like, please give me, I want to understand certain things about my dad, about his childhood. And understanding things about my dad's childhood that he didn't tell me, about his life in Cuba, about his time in Panama. It put into perspective the immigrant struggle for me. As a first-generation American, we don't know that. We hear it from our parents. I used to have to cross a creek to get to school, and then you're like, okay, I doubt that you did that. And then you realize, no, they really did do that. And I was born here, not because I'm an anchor baby, because two young kids fell in love and decided to start a family and a home in this new country that they were in. And it is my duty as a first-generation American to make sure that the rights that my parents have been deprived of because of the color of their skin or the language that they speak or the place that they come from are guaranteed for my children. And sometimes I think it's too big of a task or too big of a... And then I remember, I got my dad out of Alligator Alcatraz, and we the people got it shut down. And we the people leaked everything going on in there. And we the people did not let off. And we got it shut down. And I have to remind myself that when everyone said, Alligator Alcatraz is operating greatly, and DeSantis stood there and lied to his, to his constituents over and over and over again, we the people proved how inhumane, how cruel, and how disgusting that facility was. But the truth is, Alligator Alcatraz is a small piece of a much bigger puzzle. Because everything they did in Alligator Alcatraz, they are spreading to detention centers everywhere. The point is cruelty. The point is to make them lose it enough that they want to just leave regardless of what happens. And then what happens once they're deported? They sent 147 Venezuelans. They deported 147 Venezuelans, then took them to a hotel where they were detained by the Venezuelan government. The earthquake happens, most of those men died. The Cubans that are sent to Mexico arrive in Mexico, and then they are told, this is what you have to do to get yourself back to Cuba. It's been a year since a lot of these guys got deported. They did everything that they were told by the Mexican government that they had to do to gain access to Cuba. Cuba's now not accepting them. So they went from being undocumented here to now being undocumented in a third country that they're new to. And these are men that are in their 50s, their 60s, and their 70s. They're in no condition to start a new life or work towards a new life. And this is what we are doing to humans, because we don't like the color of their skin and the language that they speak.
Thank you. The day I met you, I had the honor of meeting your dad, Justo, and I asked you both if you'd come here, and you both said yes, but he is not here. Why couldn't he make it?
We have not gotten response on if he has any travel restrictions. His previous supervision instructions were he couldn't travel more than 120 miles. So that gives us a...
That night that you talked about, it's getting home at 6 a.m. and crying happy tears, you also told me that your dad had many health issues and they were made far worse by being in Alligator Alcatraz. At one point, you had to bring him to the hospital once he was released, and can you tell us what happened then?
So my father is diabetic, requires insulin twice a day, and while he was in Alligator Alcatraz, they were not administering the insulin that he is used to, the insulin that works for him. He would get insulin once a day if he was lucky. His glucose levels were over 400 on a regular basis. Because of the elevated glucose, he was having consecutive mini strokes. And they went untreated for months. That first night, I think I was too nervous to notice certain things I just thought he was nervous. The next day, I noticed that he's drooling, he's walking and grabbing the back of his leg to lift it. And I asked them, I'm like, are you okay? Did you take they mislabel your medications, because they had mislabeled some of the medications they released him with. And my dad broke down and told me, I had a stroke and I kept having them. And I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to burden you. And then he had a mini stroke in front of me. And I just, seeing my dad in the condition that he's in now, seeing how those 6 months aged him the way that they did, seeing that he doesn't have the strength to open a water bottle, he can't do certain things, and knowing how frustrated he is, and trying to keep it together for him, and then realizing how many other diabetic men are in there being subjected to the same thing. How many people are suffering because they're not getting their medications. And then we have the people in charge saying we have great medical care for these detainees. Being at the Christine Ohm hearing and hearing her over and over say they are getting medical treatment, they get a full checkup within 24 hours, and then having access and contact to hundreds of detainees that are telling me, I haven't seen a doctor in months, I haven't gotten my insulin in weeks, I'm not getting my blood pressure medications. People that have cancer that are in detention centers, in pain, being told to drink water and sleep it off.
So they wanted to give him an MRI when you brought him to the hospital, but they could not. Can you tell us why, or do you want me to?
When people are being released from these detention centers, the private prison groups are in charge of placing ankle monitors on them because they have to continue profiting from the pain. My dad was released under the same conditions as his previous supervision. But at Chrome, GO Group decided, we're going to put an ankle monitor on this guy. We took him to the hospital. They couldn't run any of the tests because of the ankle monitor. We called GO Group. They're like, nope, there's nothing we can do. Have him check out, have him discharge himself from the hospital and come in, and we'll see if we can remove it for him to have testing. I call his attorney. She's like, he shouldn't have an ankle monitor on. She calls ICE directly. ICE sends over a supervisor, and they have the ankle monitor removed. And then I was like, it's that easy. So I asked the agent, I asked one of the guys, I'm like, so how many other people have ankle monitors that aren't supposed to? And the guy's like, we wouldn't know. The contractors do that.
You got congratulations from all over the world probably when your dad was released. But you got one message that I think you didn't expect. Who was that from?
Yes, so Donald Trump decided to tweet, welcome home, Justo, whose daughter fought very hard to get him out of Alligator Alcatraz. And it was one of I think the only word to describe that is despicable. Because you can't be the engineer of suffering and then congratulate people for finding a way out of it. And a lot of people were like, aren't you scared? And I responded immediately. And I responded as much as I could. And even when I was on CNN with Jake Tapper, he was not, he wanted to flip the script on what we were discussing. And it's like, let's talk about the inhumane conditions. And that's what my response was the entire time. Don't congratulate me for doing the right thing. Let's talk about all the wrong things this government is doing, and let's fix it.
So this is unusual for a church. At this point, usually we're giving a reflection or otherwise known as a sermon. So this is different than that, but there are reasons why we wanted to have this conversation with you here. The situations you've described are not just unjust but immoral. They go against not just the law but against the values that this denomination has and many denominations have. Have you thought about what churches, what we should be doing, the individuals here today, and maybe what you never want to see us do again?
I was never a really religious person. I always believed in something. I just didn't know what exactly I believed in. I just know I believed. And when I went to the vigils, that's when I first learned about the UU and everything it represented. And I was like, this is amazing. Like, more people need to know that there are safe spaces of worship for everyone. And for me, growing up the way that I did, and I've always been just so open, and I'm like, I'll be friends with anyone, I don't care, like people are people, if you're cool, it doesn't matter. So when I saw that, and I was just like, I was very shocked and in disbelief. And I tell a lot of my friends now about the UU, and they're like, Arianne, and I'm like, no, this is not the Catholic Church where we grew up in, that God is gonna punish you. I was like, this is an accepting space. And over the last 6 months, I've visited a few UU churches, and I feel like at home. This is what is needed. What we're all doing here right now. Sitting next to each other, understanding, learning, accepting, and pushing forward.
Thank you. I asked Arianna if I could end with a prayer, and are you still okay with that? So I ask you to enter into the spirit of prayer or meditation, whichever best befits your expression of faith. Mother Goddess, Father God, Spirit of life, you who go by so many names, and sometimes by no name at all. We thank you for this day, this beautiful day that you've made for us. We thank you for this opportunity to do your work in this world, and for this opportunity to listen to Arianna. Please bless her. Please bring your light, your love, and your strength to her father Justo, and to all who remain imprisoned. And please help our leaders see the truth, that what they're doing is cruel. And if they do not see that, please help them see the door, so that they can re-elect somebody who believes in the values that this country was founded on. Do you want to add anything? Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. Please join me in thanking Arianne Betancourt.
Appreciate you. Perfect, thank you.
We eat fruit from trees planted long before we were born. May we plant seeds that bear fruit long after we're gone. In the sanctuary, the offering will now be given and received.
That which is given freely we receive with great joy. Thank you. Please rise as you're willing and able for our closing hymn. It's number 1027 in the teal hymnal, Cuando el Pobre.
We're going to wait and give our pianist time to get down from being our organist. So this song, we're going to sing 4 verses. We'll start with the flute and piano playing it through so you can hear it. Then we'll sing the first verse in English, then in Spanish, and then we'll skip verse 2 and do verses 3 and 4. Join me here. When the poor ones who have nothing still are giving, when the thirsty pass the cup water to share, when the wounded offer suffering, strength and healing, we see God here by our side, walking our way. We see God here by our side, walking our way. Cuando pobre nada tiene a repartir, cuando agua vas a ser aguas no dar, cuando el débil a su hermano fortalece, va Dios mismo es nuestro mismo caminar, va Dios mismo es nuestro mismo caminar. When our spirits like the chalice brim with gladness, when our voices full and clear sing out the truth, when our longings free from envy seek the humble, we see God here by our side, walking our way. We see God here by our side, walking our way. When the goodness poured from heaven fills our dwelling, when the nations work to change war into peace, when the stranger is accepted as our neighbor, we see God here by our side, walking our way. We see God here by our side, walking
I'd like to share these closing words by Patti Smith. Those who have suffered understand suffering and therefore extend their hand. Please remain seated as Elias plays our postlude on the organ.
Thanks for the closing words there, Courtney, and thank you once again for your words. Our guest speaker will be available in the library afterwards. We'll be serving coffee, and it looks like there might be food too, so hope you'll stick around right through there. After our closing hymn, after our closing pieces. I was stalling so that he could get up to the organ. Thank you, Elias. We invite you to follow along with the hand gestures, light of truth, warmth of love, fire of courage, as Liz Ryland extinguishes our chalice. It's so good to see you, Liz. The words to our traditional chalice extinguishing are in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of courage. These we carry in our hearts and into the world. Our worship is over, but our service begins. Please join us for coffee hour in Gilmore. And John Mata had a good idea. We have a very small library, so it wasn't going to hold everyone who wants to talk with Arianne. So get your coffee, come back here if you want to ask Arianne some more questions. I'll be on vacation this week at the 40th reunion of the Great Peace March for Global Nuclear Disarmament, but I recommend next Sunday's worship service led by who? John Mutter, and our guest speaker, Dr. Jess Hunt, who has come here several times before. We hope this time together will help you through your week and will help you remember you are not alone. Blessings. This just happened, so. That's off.
Thanks for catching me in there. You looked at me and I was like, oh no.
That's all good. That's all good. Bring the chairs down there. I don't know. Depends on if it's still chock full of people. I don't want to see her.
When you say, like, up here.
Yeah. But if there's like 20 people, we can go down there.
I can bring some into that room to people to chat with. I can bring some chairs up.
Oh.
Wait, were you saying that?
I was saying where?
Here and they'll be sitting.
I was saying, yeah. And I'll be running around with my things. But
And there was someone called. He was. And then he was at a bank one day, and this guy asked him if he was 6'7", he said, yeah, and he was 7'2". 7 feet.
He was a basketball player at the mansion. Yeah, it was some other guy in here who we were.
Our daughter is taller than you. She's 6 feet. I can run up.
Just want to introduce Krisha.
There you go.
If everyone's who is here for the discussion can come to the forward, we could have fit in the library. Please come forward if you're here for the discussion with Arianne. Arianne, your copy's up here. I'm gonna scoot behind you. She's gonna scoot behind you real quick.
Okay. Let me get a quick picture with them. I don't know if they're gonna stay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Do you want me to take it?